A quick note on the RSS feed that you are subscribed to right now. There's 3 shows on the same RSS feed. The first one is Gaming with Grief. That comes out every Sunday, and the video version of it hits YouTube Monday morning at 7 a.m. So you can go there if you want to watch the video version, or you can just listen to the audio version on Apple iTunes, Amazon Music, or Spotify. It hits those places Sunday afternoon usually. And again, the video version will hit Spotify like probably Monday evening, but 7 a.m. YouTube, if you want to watch the video version, go there. The second show is The Grief of Politics. I have a co-host, Avin Carroll. We talk about something every month. The audio version of that on the feed hits on the 19th in the afternoon, usually when it posts. The video version hits YouTube 7 a.m. the 20th of every month. So go there, leave comments, all that kind of stuff. Normal stuff you would do on a YouTube channel. The third one is a tabletop RPG show that I play with my friends. I'm the GM this time. That hits on the 1st and the 15th of every month. On the audio feed, it usually hits in the afternoon. So on the afternoon of the last day of the month and the afternoon of the 14th. The video, again, hits YouTube on the 1st and the 15th at 7 in the morning. So if you want to go there, you can watch every episode, subscribe, like, and all these shows, if you want to write to me, you can write to me at gwgpodfellows@gmail.com. Or you can leave a comment below the YouTube video. Or if you want to go to gamingwithgrief.com, you can go to www.gamingwithgrief.com, leave a comment below the episode, and you can do the same thing for The Grief of Politics. Go there below the episode and leave a comment. It's thegriefofpolitics.com, and you can leave a comment on the episode or things like that. And you can also write to me anywhere at, again, gwgpodfellows@gmail.com. That's just a general email address for the RSS feed. So if there's a specific topic or episode you want to talk about, you can leave it there. So thank you so much for supporting the show in any way you do. I just wanted to make a quick note. So have a good day. And now we'll get on to the episode. Hello, my name is Joseph Carlson, and this is episode 257 of Gaming with Grief. This episode, I'm just going to talk about Under the Waves, a game that came out August of last year, I believe August 23rd of last year, and it was developed, I want to say, by Parallax Studios. I want to make sure I get this right. Parallel Studios, and it was developed, it's a French studio, and I believe it was published by Quantic Dreams. I'm reading that right from their Wikipedia, but also it's on their main page. This kind of hit my purview because it is basically the movie The Abyss. But instead of a cast of characters like The Abyss, you are playing as Stan, who is basically an underwater repairman, as it were, for, you know what? I don't know why I'm being so weird. There's actually an overview. I can't think of the name of the company. They're very general in the... in the description of the game on the overview on their website. But basically you're an underwater repairman for like a conglomerate, I believe like a shipping conglomerate. And you're basically doing repairs. Again, it's like the Abyss. So you're under the water at all times. You have like a pressurized place that you can sleep in. It's like a very small like living quarters. There's basically like a tube going up to get out of the water. Then there's like a kitchen and a middle room where you can get missions from a hub, from like a little AI hub. And you can, you call home or they radio in missions to you. And you do like little repair jobs, and you have a little craft that you kind of like it's basically like your car. You can get in, pilot around under the sea. It's called Moon. What I really appreciate, like a slight touch, is you can go in the morning, look at the weather report, and one of the first questions, you make a cup of coffee to like get ready for the morning, which I really appreciate. But this whole game is about grief. It's in the overview on their website. They bring it up over and over again. And I played about 3 or 4 hours of it so far. I've been out of town, so I have it on PC, so I haven't been able to devote the amount of time that I wanted to it. But just to give you guys like my early impressions, I've been playing a lot of action-oriented games, Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. I played the demo for Tales of Kenzera Zao, which is coming out in a week, but again, I'll be out of town. I will be reviewing that game because the demo was all about grief. But Under the Waves is so unique because because you're underground so much, you are uh, you're forced to take everything at a slow pace. So by me playing these incredibly like Banishers, combat system. Under the Waves has no combat. You basically have to refill your air. You can craft some stuff so that way you can craft mines to blow open doors, or craft, air obviously to hit yourself with air when you're kind of exploring on your own. But because you're underwater, everything is just at a slowed pace. So for me playing all these incredibly action-packed games and then going to this game, you definitely have to play this game. You have to come to this game with a certain mindset. And it's taken me a little bit to kind of get into that, especially since I've been out of town and I've been playing it sporadically. I haven't been able to just play it in one chunk. I believe it's about 9 or 10 hours, the game. So I should be done with it next week. But I do like Stan. He's calling home. He's been trying to call his wife. And it seems like there's some tension there initially. And what you discover is you find a picture of your wife, I want to say Emma, and your child. It's your daughter. And it appears, from what I've seen so far, I'm only a few hours in, that your child has passed away. And you have taken this job because not only is this your career, but you have really isolated yourself underwater to be away from your wife, who it doesn't seem like you guys are divorced, but definitely estranged. It was difficult to call her because you're, a mile under the water or whatever. But I got to a section where there's a phone call between you and your wife, and it's very tense. And she brings up the fact that, you're not the only one hurting, which I can just say as someone who's gone to therapy with my wife, that gets brought up. I mean, that's a true thing. When two people have experienced any kind of grief or loss, both people have their own experience with those things, and you can't assume that you are the only one that is having a bad way. I did a little bit, which is some of the reason why we went to therapy. But I recommend all the time on this, and I'll do it again. Go see a therapist. If you experience grief in your life or you have something traumatic happen to you, you are doing something that you may not be equipped to deal with. Just like in your life, if maybe you were doing a home repair and you didn't have experience in electrical or plumbing or whatever, or you were learning a new skill at work, you need someone to teach you that skill. I think therapy is the same way. Your brain is experiencing something that it hasn't experienced before. You need to find someone that's capable of kind of bringing you through that experience and kind of teaching you, the right way for your brain. Well, I don't want to say right way, but maybe a less toxic way for your brain to respond to those scenarios. I don't want to use therapy speak, but I'll just say a lot of my experience with grief is not, hey, you're not going to make this go away. You just need to know what's happening to yourself and your brain and your emotions when it happens, and you need to deal with those as they come. Hence, I really like the title of Under the Waves. I think, you always hear that all the time. I played another game called It Comes in Waves. That was a very short game. The idea that grief does come in waves. I've heard many euphemisms to describe grief. The wave thing, I think, for me is the most, it's the truest thing that I have heard. The idea that sometimes you're doing fine and then a wave of just complete sadness comes through and you're like, wow, where did that come from? I don't know. Yeah, it does really feel like waves. And there's obviously an analogy here with like the crushing feeling of being sad and depression and grief, him being under the ocean. That's all coming up. And I like that he is kind of, very muted. Stan, the main character, he's not going on these big laughing sprees. Everything's kind of slightly funny to him. And the little bit I played the game, about 3-4 hours, there's maybe 2-3. Anyway, there's this idea that he's having these dreams. He's seeing things. He followed a jellyfish, like one of those electrical, photoelectrical jellyfish, whatever they're called. And he heard his kid laugh or something. It's stuff like that. And he's trying to deal with these dreams as he's trying to do his job. And in the overview on their website, they talk about, like compromising his morals. I don't know if that's going to happen. I really think it's just him having to deal with the weight of these feelings and what that's like. So yeah, I mean, so far I really like it. Again, it is a slower game. So if you want some action-packed game that'll, you know, be thrilling, you have to come to this game with a certain attitude. I will say there's a lot of good things that pull on my heartstrings. I mean, you know, the grief aspect, I'm obviously reviewing it for that, but the idea that, you know, you wake up in the morning and there's a seal that has been tagged by the company you work for called Joe, and it just visits you and waves to you in the window and then goes off its merry way. And if you use your radar to ping your next objective or find out where you're going, sometimes if Joe is close enough, Joe will be pinged on the radar, which is kind of funny. You can swim up to Joe or you know, travel up to him or them and take a photo, which is really good. I like that kind of stuff. There is side objectives in the game, but I haven't really been focusing on those because unless they specifically tell me to do it, because you have a list of routines you have to go through in the day before the day ends. I'm really focused on the story. I talk about this a lot in some of my other reviews. I don't care. I don't want to take photos. I just want to. I just want to hear what you have to say with grief. I understand. Maybe that's not why some people are there, but when you, especially the overview on the website, when you so very much bring up grief over and over again, that's why I'm coming to your story. I'm not coming to your story to, again, you know, take pictures of seaweed. No, I don't care. I don't care about that. Let me call my wife. That's what I'm here for. I do like the game a lot. It's one of those slow creeping things that, as I have not been playing it, I've been thinking about, well, what does this mean? And what does that mean? Which I think, in my humble opinion, is the best way. It's so good for stories to do that. The worst thing I think, I heard, well, I don't want to get into big, you know, well, I will actually. So Frank Oz, who did, you know, he's done Yoda. He's worked with Jim Henson a lot. He's done a lot of the Muppets. He does Eagle he does a lot. They did the Dark Crystal years ago in the 80s, and I saw an interview with him, and he said, we want people really to think about this. You know, no matter what you think about the puppets, we want people to walk away and go, man, that was really good, and think about it. He said the worst thing you can have people do is when they walk out of the theater and go, what do you want to get for dinner? Like, they don't ever pay the story any mind. And at least with Under Waves, like I said, it's slower. You have to come to it. You really have to prepare to be like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And you're underwater, so obviously you're moving slower. You have to say, this is the experience I'm in for, and so this is what I have to do. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff and want to keep, support a smaller developer, I think it is actually, it was on sale for $15 when I bought it. I think the sale ended, but I think it's on every platform. I just got it on Steam because it was on sale. So I don't know in my review if I'm going to have a lot of gameplay because I haven't really figured out how to record my Steam gameplay. I'm an old man, but I definitely recommend it so far. I think that is it this week, guys. Next week, I will do my final review. So everybody have a good week, and I will talk to everybody again next week.